Hey, Boa family. Like, share, comment, subscribe. This is my results I told y'all about when I did my 23andMe test to just see my breakdown. And, of course, I did it because of my spiritual journey, me, being a Mambo in Asian Vodou and stuff like that, and into different ATRs. I'm also ordaining ministers over the Universal Life Church. And I'm going to see if I can figure out how to put it into the video. But if I can't, I'll kind of see if I can kind of show you from here if it shows up well. And of course, we can follow along. So, I just did the ancestry part for 23andMe. It does go into like breakdowns of some other stuff too, but I'm just going to go to ancestry composition. I might get into some of the other stuff as well. I don't have any of the health stuff or the historical matches because I don't want to pay extra for that. But I also may go do an ancestry, the African ancestry as well. Only because we'll get into it. But for some people, it can break down like the tribes and stuff. But for me, it didn't get to it, but I know they do updates, so maybe eventually. So, we have this screen here with this map. I'm 100% me, of course. And we have Sub-Saharan African, 84.7%, which is pretty much all of that. But pretty much my family all over Africa except for Egypt for the most part. West African is 71.7%, which is all of them. That's I'm gonna say for over a million Europeans, colonization, Atlantic slave trade, West Africa was united under a series of powerful empires, resulting in the broad similarities in music, clothing, art, and cuisine. A gradient of genetic similarity, sitting from Senegal to Nigeria, for the richly complex population history in the region, home to over 350 million people who form 100 distinct ethnic groups. So this is important because a lot of these areas is where like Vodou was, and then also like Ifa, stuff like that, like were practiced. A lot of the forms of Vodou or different types of forms of Vodou, and of course they were like different tribes, different clans kind of did their own little thing. They honored their own ancestral spirit, stuff like that. Because of course we have Guinea here, we have Benin, we have Nigeria, Ghana, which I didn't know there was like a form of Vodou in Ghana. I didn't know that. I like that later on for more research. And just all that little area. 25.3% of me, which the majority of my ancestry came from Nigeria. And Nigeria was a very big place. And Nigeria, I don't think was formed until like 1960. And that's kind of like artificial borders, because in in Africa we didn't really have those borders like that. It wasn't set up that way. They have Benin City and stuff like that. Only thing with that is some people they're able to detect the tribe, and it's so funny because with my DNA they couldn't detect anything like tribe wise for me how they could some people, except for my when we get to the European part they can kind of detect that part, but we'll get into that. I also have 17.4% Ghanaian, Liberian, Sierra Leonean. I also have, what else? Senegambian and Guinea, which is 12.9%. Mambo Guinea, who I am, but so And then we also have broadly West Africa. That's all the extra African country, like the whole west side of Africa. I do have 10%, well, almost 11% Congolese in southern East Africa, which I knew I had some type of Congo because the reading that I had, and I needed to deal with like some type of Congo spirits and stuff like that, like Paulo and stuff like that. But really they were talking about more traditional. So I kind of knew I had Congo because I had a reading and my ancestors came up and they was talking about all that. So I knew I had Congo in me. Then I also had about 10% Anatolian Congolese. Then 1.1% of broadly Congolese in southern East Africa. 1.3% African hunter-gatherer. And 0.9% broadly sub-Saharan Africa. And like I said before, most of this is pretty much everything in Africa is got like highlighted or grayed out. Right now I'm right here, except for Egypt. There's no Egypt in my blood at all. No Egyptian in my ancestry at all. It makes sense on why I never got 100% into Comedicism and the Netherroot, even though I know about them. But why I didn't really feel anything or connect with those spirits like that, or like I should have. They're not in my blood. They're not my spirits. Okay. Then I had 13.2 European. I thought there would be a little bit more than that, because I know some African Americans have higher percentages, but I really don't. And it says Northwestern European is 13%. And there's like all these little areas here. But the main breakdown of that, so out of that 13.2%, 12.5% is British and Irish. I already knew I had Irish in my family, so maybe I got the luck of the Irish. And and that's brought down to County Mayo. There's like these 9 little regions or areas. And the United Kingdom is 6 regions there. Then I had like 0.3% Finnish, 0.2% broadly Northwestern European, and 0.2% broadly European. So I didn't know, anything about the Finnish or United Kingdom or anything like that, but, the British, whatever. But I didn't know about Irish. I didn't know about the Irish. Then I have Western Asian and North African by 1%. North African is the 1%. And that's all these countries up here. Like I said, I'm pretty much all over Africa except for Egypt. No Egyptian at all. But the whole map of Africa, well, you kind of see the whole map of Africa. And a couple of little Asian countries down here, but we'll get into that. Then we had 0.9% East Asian, which I didn't know I had that in the family. So then I had like 0.5% Indonesian, Thai, Burma, and whatever that is. And then all these other little Asian countries that's in that region area. We go Vietnam, Bangkok, so that's like Thailand, Indonesia, all these different little places, Singapore. Then I also had, it went away, which I did not know, Filipino. I kind of knew the Vietnamese part, but I didn't know about like the other stuff. I have Filipino and Austronesian. I didn't know about that. That was 0.4%. And so let me click that. And that's just that little island right there, which is probably the Philippines or something. But I used to think that was like Tanzania or something right there, but because I know, or Madagascar, because I know there was like little island or go off the coast of Africa. But hey, I don't know. I'll look into that. Or maybe I should read that part and just see. Then I have like another 4% about trace ancestry in Philippines, Australia. I got 0.2% unassigned that they, I guess, couldn't figure out, verify. And then also my African diaspora, where they talk about I do have family in different parts of Maryland and Texas. Those came up, and that's pretty much it. So for having the slave trade, I did not know that my European would be as low. So 13%, or European 12.5, British and Irish, and the others like Finnish. I didn't know that. I didn't know about Asian, but I didn't think it was gonna be that much anyway. But majority of my DNA, besides of being like sub-Saharan African and West African, is Nigerian, but I still have a big part of Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone, because that's almost 20% like Nigeria. And then Gambian and Ghanaian is about 13%. That's like good percent. Congolese is 10%. So I still think those are like pretty good high percentages. And Angolan and Congolese is almost like 10%. Then under that, the other stuff is like 1%, 3%. So those countries have big percentage of the majority coming from Nigeria. Which all makes sense for my spiritual practice and stuff like that. And it also makes sense, Vodou has 21 nations, and apparently I'm all over the map of Africa, like the whole portion of Africa besides Egypt. The whole part of Africa is me, besides Egypt. And and I've seen other people's videos, and they might have like parts here, parts there, and then maybe all over the other place. But I'm the whole Africa but Egypt. So that was interesting to see. Then I also get like a breakdown, like, where is it? Kind of tell you how like your family will have migrated and stuff. And I'm still searching into that, because it's like one side of my family started maybe in the Asian part, and another part was in Africa. And somehow they got together, I don't know. So I'm still digging into that, because I don't know, maybe the African ancestry can dig into that, because they also say about 8% of people that take this test may not have a tribe originating in Africa, and maybe that could be me, and maybe that's why they couldn't detect a tribe in Africa, in any of that stuff, or pretty much anywhere in any of those things besides the Ireland and British, like the areas there. But all the other nationalities, like the Asian and all that, they didn't really have like a detect. Like, let me see if I can find it. There's an area here where what is it? I'm looking at the ancestry timeline, because it's also interesting too. Because then, and I'll get back to the other thing later. The Senegambia and Guinean is like 3 to 5 generations away. So that's like my most recent. So even though the Nigerian blood must have been strong, because even though Nigerian or that area was the strongest, there was like 4 to 7 generations away. Then my Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leone was 4 to 7 generations away. So even though my Senegambia and Guinea was 3 to 5 generations away, it's the closest. Which also makes sense, because in Vodou, Guinea is like the actual ancestral land, or like almost like a heaven or something like that. Like that's where like they say like the Loa resides and stuff like that in Guinea. Which could be like another reason why I'm so I'm with the spiritual path, because of that. 5 to 8% was an African hunter-gatherer. 5 to 8 generations was North African. 5 to 8 plus generations was British Irish. 5 to 8 plus was Angolan and Congolese. 6 to 8 was Finnish. And 6 to 8 was 6 to 8 was the Indonesian, Thai, Khmer, and Mali. So maybe my ancestry did start originally in Asia. And then they traveled down into Africa and meshed with the Africans because they don't want to just became African, like all over Africa. My family was traveling because that is so far away in my ancestry. And then the Gambian and Guinea is so close in my ancestry. So I'm really thinking that maybe I didn't originate in any type of tribe originally there. But there's some more research that I have to do. And that might be why it didn't detect. Like, I've seen where some people, 23andMe detect that you have Igbo, you have this, you have that. But it didn't detect, it couldn't detect that, none of that in me. Like where it originated. And maybe because I was so all over the map of Africa. Like I said, I was all over the map of Africa besides Egypt. The only country that wasn't highlighted for Africa was Egypt. So this is something like, I have to figure out and see that maybe my ancestry started out Asian. Was it South Asian or East Asian, whatever it is, and then got into the African. We'll see. So there's something, more I have to figure out. So yeah, cause like right here. Okay, so this is my first time seeing this. This is actually telling me something, and this is probably. So my family probably did originate as Asian. So you most likely have 4th great-grandparents, 5th great-grandparents, 6th great-grandparents, or 7th great or greater grandparents who was 100% Indonesian, Thai, Khmer, and Myanmar. This person was likely born between 1720 and 1810, somewhere around that time. So, and like I said, that's like one of the furthest away next to the Finnish. Actually, the Finnish and the Indonesian, Thai, Khmer, and Myanmar is the same 6 to 8 generations plus away. So that is very interesting that my family could have started that way and then became African. So that's very interesting for me. And then also, so, I don't know. It's very interesting how these things go. If you have any ideas on that, just let me know. It's very interesting. I'm thinking that my family started out Asian at first. Which makes sense because sometimes I have some Asian features I do. That sometimes people can see. And I get my eyes, of course, and some other things. So, this issue. If you have any ideas, let's go. But I'm going to do more ancestry. But I would hate to do the African ancestry because it's so much more expensive. To do the maternal test is $299, and to do the paternal test is $299 as well. That would be like $600 almost. And then just to get results that, my family didn't originate or link to any tribe, that'd be like a waste of money. So I'll decide. But anyway, what else we had? They show you a parental inheritance, but they gotta take the test, so to actually know where you get it from. But they do have like the thing from parent A, parent B, filter. No, they wouldn't do that. I'm trying to see if I can find what I was talking about. DNA painting. scientific details. Like, you can go into like different details and read like different stuff, and it's interesting to read how your family migrated. Just for me, it just feels like, or it seemed like they may have started, like one side started in Asia and another one started in Africa, or somehow they like migrated and I don't know, or the Asian migrated to Africa and met the African side of my family and went that way. But here you can see like all this is not detected, but I didn't have none of this anyway. So let me go to the top. So probably one I'm just showing y'all like this because I don't know how I'm gonna put all this part in the video. I'm showing y'all so much stuff. So like here, for Nigerian, you couldn't detect none of these tribes here, even though it's most of me. Ghanaian, couldn't detect none of those tribes. It's not detected. Same for all that says not detected. You go down the list, everything says not detected, not detected, not detected, not detected. So I'm hoping maybe when they do an update, maybe something will change and it'll be detected. And maybe I should just wait and be patient with it. But going down this whole list, everything says not detected. Which kind of, sucks in a way. But, all the way down, not detected. So it kind of sucks in a way because that was one thing I was hoping to see. But, know that having Nigerian ancestry and West African ancestry does help. But now I just want to know the tribe. So, but then I'm wondering if if they started out Asian, if that's the reason why, or can they still pinpoint the African tribe? And then, like I said, it's probably really confusing because I'm the whole map of Africa besides Egypt. Which, like I said, also makes sense with Vodou, because Vodou has so many spirits from so many places, from so many African nations, is to why that's something that my ancestors wanted me to do versus going into, they did say I could do Shay, but versus really doing like just the Yoruba stuff, because they will just, box me into that when Vodou, I'm not as boxed in because I work with so many spirits. I can work with the Nigerian spirits, with the Nago. I can work with the Congo spirits. I can work with, the Rada. They got all these different nations of spirits that I can work with. So it makes sense since I'm like all over the map of Africa besides Egypt. So which still makes sense why I don't really gravitate to the Kemetic stuff. But yeah, there's more, but this video is already like 23 minutes, and if you stayed to watch some of this, thank you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I am Mambo getting in, an ordained minister and a Vodou Priestess, Mambo. Till next time, we talk about all things spiritual. We also do tarot readings. Whenever we have fits, I started putting videos up. I only have one for Fegede. Tomorrow we have Makaya, which I will participate in Fegede, Fegede. I was mounted by, or the spirit of Brigitte came onto me. And this one, and that was my first time. So this will be my second time, and then hopefully be, Don Tour. We expect to do Don Tour. So, anyway, if you're interested in any of that stuff, tarot readings, life lessons, or just seeing the changes that go on from the beginning of me and my Mambohood to more as I grow and progress and, all these things just shape, shift, and form, and we'll just see how things change. Just follow, you grow with me. I'm growing, you grow, and you just want like divine guidance and stuff from spirit. Just like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Till next time, stay blessed. Now you, Bobo.